何も怖くなんてないんだ This is a place to try そして僕らきっと辛いだってを決して離さないで明日へかける Let's sing loudly We are the one for the future
Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Naruto Shippuden episode 375, alright? And I didn't watch this until like late last night, and I had heard a lot of hype, alright? I heard so much hype about this episode, and like how amazing the animation was and how well done everything was, and I'm like, dude, I might just review this episode. And I watched it and I just like marked out throughout the entire thing. I was just fanboying nonstop. This episode, man, I love this episode. It was truly awesome. I mean, it's every year we get at least one episode like this. We get at least one episode like this. Last year it was Madara summoning meteors and crap, taking out the fodder. And then this year we got this. We got Obito and Kakashi and just awesomeness. All right. So I guess I should probably just start at the beginning. So the five Kage get informed of what's going on by Katsuyu. They're told about the Ten Tails and all the stuff, so they decide, okay, yeah, we definitely need to go over there as soon as possible and help. Right? So Gaara says, you guys save your chakra. I'll carry you guys on the sand, and then we can get even more information as we head over. All right, and you can tell that the animation was going to be good because in the beginning, when they were kind of like recapping what happened last episode with the Rasen Shuriken and the Inferno style arrow, Kagetsuchi, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I completely forgot. But it's like the Inferno style thing. The Black Fire of Amaterasu, And they combined stuff. It hit the Ten Tails, blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of recapping some of that stuff and Sai talking with Jugo. And the animation was like normal Naruto animation, kind of. But then once we got to the five Kages, it changed. And you could see, like, when Tsunade stands up, you can tell it just looks completely, you can tell the difference. You really can. Like, for the longest time, I wasn't really the kind of guy who could see, I didn't really have an eye for animation. Like, I just looked, and if it was animated, I thought it was fine, so I never really had an eye for quality animation, but now I'm kind of, like, getting the hang of it, and I can tell. Like, when Shippuden animation is good, like, it just looks different. Like here with Tsunade standing up, it just looks different than what it normally would. Or it looks like when Hinata was fighting Pain, and it just like, you could tell it just looked different. Or when Sasuke was fighting Deidara, it just looked different. Okay, here the Ten Tails, we go back to Ten Tails, and you see its eyes start to move. It just looked different. You can just tell. There's just a difference in the way it's being animated. There's just a difference there in the quality of the animation. So I love when they do this. I think they did it for Kabuto versus Sasuke and Itachi too. But it's like you can just tell when the quality changes when it comes to Shippuden animation. And one of the telltale signs of the animation becoming higher quality is that the character designs kind of look less detailed. Like, if you look at Jugo in the beginning of the episode, in the very, very beginning, then you look at Jugo, like, later when he's talking with Sai, and then Sai starts to talk to Sakura and stuff, like, he actually looks different. Like, you can tell there's just, like, not as much detail, but when that happens, you can tell that the actual animation quality is just going to get higher and more fluid and stuff like that, so I don't mind. But, there's just... But I've talked enough about the animation. It was awesome. It's that simple. All right. But yeah, so the Ten Tails, it's on fire. It put the fire out by like separating the part of its arm that was on fire. But Sasuke is telling Naruto like, yeah, I'm gonna burn the whole thing and then just like get rid of it. And Naruto's like, no, you can't do that because the other tailed beasts are still sealed inside there. So we have to get them out first. And Sasuke's like, nah, I'm gonna make them all burn. Okay, no, I'm not having any of that. All right. And clearly this shows that, people were talking about how, oh man, Sasuke turned good. He turned good now. Clearly he has not turned good. Okay, clearly. He just has a different idea of the way things should be done. All right, because Naruto tried to talk him into it, like, come on, let's save the tail beast, and Sasuke just completely tuned him out, which I like the way they did that, by the way. They actually had Naruto's voice just slowly just disappear And then Sasuke just saying to himself, like, I'm going to put an end to this failing system that's in place right now. And, you know, him saying that makes it really clear that him wanting to become Hokage does in fact make sense. Because you have to realize that Sasuke himself is a product of that failing system. His entire clan is a product of that failing system. It is that failing system that caused his clan to become extinct in the first place and to get wiped out. All right. Well, not extinct because there are three of them right there: Sasuke, Madara, and Obito. But you get well, Madara's dead technically, but you know what I mean. All right, you know what I mean. Um, so his entire clan is his goal involves in reviving his clan, right? My goal is to avenge and restore my clan. That's what he's been saying this entire time. But he can't restore his clan if that failed system is still in place that got rid of it in the first place. So he has to override. He has to find a way to get rid of that system and create a system where everything can be better for both everyone else and for his clan, which in the end is what his goal is. So it makes perfect sense for him to want to become Hokage, especially since he actually verbalized this. All right. Now, while Sasuke is doing what he's doing, Sai is looking at him and saying, like, this dude cannot be trusted. Unlike you guys, I don't have any emotional ties to him. I'm not close to him. I can actually see things logically and objectively. Right? And this dude cannot be trusted. And Sakura is saying, like, don't worry about it. He can be trusted. Everything will be fine. But the smile she has on her face is clearly fake. Sai's pointing it out. Like, Sai's like, trust me. I know what a fake smile is now. All right. And that right there is a fake smile. All right, so what that means is that Sakura can't really bring herself to have a genuine smile around Sasuke anymore, which shows that she has changed in terms of her feelings for him. All right, people still act like Sakura cares about Sasuke, but when Sasuke showed up, who's the one who started jumping around getting all excited? It wasn't Sakura, that was freaking Ino. All right, Ino was the one like, oh my god, it's Sasuke, oh my god. And Shikamaru was like, yo, Ino, hold up. Hey, calm down, man. So, but Sakura was calm the entire time. She was like, wait, Sasuke? What? And but after that, she was just like, which is obvious. The dude just came out of nowhere, obviously, you know. You have to be surprised at least a little bit. But she was like, what, Sasuke? But she was just still healing Naruto, focusing on him. So obviously, her feelings for Sasuke have changed. And that was kind of proven here, though I'm sure most people will ignore it and still say that she likes Sasuke, but whatever. After this, we get probably the best part of the episode, by far. We get Kakashi versus Obito. All right, and this was just incredible. This is where the animation really just did its thing. The animation crew, man. These dudes, I forgot, what's the dude's name? Hiroyuki something or another. Like, this dude knows what he's doing. He gets that budget that he needs, and he always puts out a high quality product when he needs to. All right. This was just great. They started off with Genjutsu. Even then, it was good. They stabbed the Genjutsu Obito and the Genjutsu Kakashi stabbed each other, and the blood was flying through the air, and you could see the reflection of them on the blood drops. And I was like, yo, they're putting so much detail into this. Like, that was a great touch. It really was. It's those little things that make the episode that much better because it shows that they're actually going the extra mile. You know, it was just I just love those little things that they did, all the extra details. And Kakashi says, like, you know what, Obito, let's just stop this Genjutsu and let's just do this, all right? Because this entire time, he's been trying to tell himself like that he doesn't need to fight Obito, that he would be able to convince him that what he's doing is wrong, but now he realizes he can't do that. So he's resolved himself to fight Obito, and he's resolved himself to kill Obito, all right? And the two of them, they go and they fight, and it was just awesome. It really was. They mixed in the flashbacks so well. They mixed in the flashbacks so well. All right, like it was just great. And Kakashi had this amazing move where his kunai got hit into the air, but when it came down, Kakashi flipped and kicked it with his heel, and it went and it cut Obito's face. That was great. Of course, the cut healed because Obito has Senju DNA. All right, so he the cut healed, but you know, whatever. So that was great. Obito, he had this great scene where he used Kakashi's own hand to start doing hand signs and crap, and I'm like, yo, Kakashi was like, wait, what's going on here? Like Kakashi just didn't even know what to do. He's like, what? And then he did the fireball jutsu, earth wall, kicked to the head and stuff into the wall, but that was a clone, or it was the real Kakashi, but the lightning clone is the one that came up from the ground. It's like, yeah, it was just craziness. It was craziness. And then they showed in the flashback where Kakashi actually won. and both Kid Kakashi and Kid Obito go do that unison sign. However, adult Obito comes out of nowhere and pushes Kid Obito out the way, and they charge each other. All right, to go stab each other. It was great. And then Kakashi says that to protect this world, my comrades, and the Obito of the past, I will kill the current Obito. All right, and I thought that was a great line. So then he does a Chidori, right? Well, lightning blade. I call it Chidori. I call both of them Chidori, Sasuke's and Kakashi's. I call them both Chidori. But he uses Chidori with the kunai right through the chest. And Obito did stab Kakashi through the chest with one of the chakra rods. So Kakashi didn't exactly get out of that unharmed. But Obito, with that hole in his chest, he says, I'll let you win this battle. All right. And I saw some people trying to act like, trying to say that that was Obito just trying to act tough. All right. And that, it was just him trying to push himself up and not look bad. But in reality, I'm telling you, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll just say that he did in fact mean that. Okay, he did have a reason for saying that. That's like legit. That's not him being a loser, a sore loser, and saying, "Oh, I'll let you win this time." He legitimately meant that. All right, so I won't spoil what exactly it means, but that it's legit. All right, I'll just say that it's legit. All right. So after that, he warps out of the dimension and lands right on top of the Ten Tails. So Madara sees him and he's like, okay, all right, let's just do this now. He's dying, so let me just do this before he legit does die and I lose my chance. Well, he has Edo Tensei, so I mean, he even if Obito did die, he could still just bring him back and force him to use Rinne Tensei, but whatever. Madara uses chakra rods to control Obito and force him to use Rinne Tensei, all right? And he's on the verge of death, and he's getting these flashbacks. His life is flashing before his eyes, pretty much. And he's thinking of his team. And I'm sure most people, when they see this, are like, "Oh man, he really is doing it for real." Okay, but no, literally the same exact thing happened to Kakashi in Pain's Invasion when he died there. The same thing happened to him. He thought of Rin and Obito and Minato. And their old team, and when they were together, he thought the same thing. And Kakashi isn't trying to take control of the world to go see Rin again, so don't try and make the same argument for Obito. Clearly does not make sense when another person like Kakashi did the same exact thing. All right, it makes perfect sense for the two of them to think of similar things in the situation where they're dying. All right, so don't even try and make that argument. But anyway, Madara's trying to force Obito to use Rinne Tensei. All right, and everyone wants to try and prevent that, obviously, because we can't have Madara come back to life, which you would think, right now he's Edo Tensei, he has unlimited chakra, he can't die, he can only be sealed, so you would think that they'd want him to come back to life. That way they can legit kill him. But there are reasons for why they would not want him to come back to life, so you'll find that out later. But everyone's going to try and stop him, and Minato realizes that the person who's up on the Ten Tails is the same masked person from years ago who kidnapped Naruto and killed Kushina and him, extracted the Nine Tails and all that crap. He realizes it's the same person because he senses that seal that's on his back. All right. So while the others can't get to Madara or Obito in time, like Sasuke and Naruto and them, Alba, Gamaki, like all those dudes can't get to him in time, but Minato does, Flying Thunder God, right? And he slashes him across the chest, and that when he sees Obito's face, that's when he realizes, oh my God, it's Obito, and he puts two and two together. And he's like, back then it was Obito too. Like, oh my, like what? So he puts two and two together. And as a matter of fact, Madara and Naruto put two and two together as well. Because Madara is sitting there with this smile on his face. It was awesome. He's like, man, I really messed up, didn't I? And you're like, wait, what? What do you mean you messed up? All right, and Naruto put two and two together as well. Because you guys got to remember, all right, I'm pretty sure he'll say this next week, but I'll just say it now because it's not really a spoiler. It's not a spoiler at all, really. It's just a matter of whether you remember it or not. When Naruto was in Pain's Invasion, Naruto was in front of Nagato, right? Nagato used Rinne Tensei right in front of Naruto. So Naruto saw the hand signs for Rinne Tensei. And Obito was not going like this. He was going like this. It was a completely different hand sign, which means he could not have been using Rinne Tensei. So Naruto saw that and he realized, oh man, that's not Rinne Tensei. He's not reviving Madara. He's absorbing the Ten Tails and becoming its Jinchuriki. All right, and that's what happens in the end. Obito absorbs the Ten Tails and becomes its Jinchuriki, and it was just awesome. He's just sitting there like rips apart uh, I don't even know, like the shell, I guess. Just starts like ripping stuff off. He's just like standing there with his Rinnegan. God, it was freaking epic, yo. Oh man, this episode is just amazing. It really was. Just I can't think of any flaws. The animation was amazing. The fight was amazing. The foreshadowing was great because I read the manga, so I know what happened. So I can tell you there was foreshadowing here, like with what Obito said. Um, Plus, they linked things back to Nagato using Rinne Tensei, which is why, like I said, which is why Naruto knew that Obito didn't use Rinne Tensei because he's seen it used before. You know, and this was great. This was great. Plus, they built up the Kages coming back, and they developed Sakura in the sense that her feelings for Sasuke have changed. They did so many amazing things here that even if you could think of any flaws, it couldn't possibly negate all of the positives. So I'm giving this episode a 10 out of 10. It really was awesome. It was perfect. It was amazing. It really was. I heard For Never World gave it a bad rating, but I haven't seen his reviews, so I'll watch it after this, I guess. If he didn't like it, then he must have thought there were some things that were done wrong. So maybe I'll watch that, and then maybe I'll see things differently. I don't know. Maybe not. But personally, I don't think it'll change anything. Even if I watch this video, I'm still gonna think this episode was awesome. Right? So there you go. But yeah, I can't think of anyone else who didn't like the episode. Yeah, I can't off the top of my head. I can't think of anybody that I've heard of, at least because I haven't watched any reviews for Shippuden yet. So I don't know, as far as like word of mouth and internet and stuff, I haven't heard of anyone else disliking the episode. But whatever. Personally, I thought it was awesome, and to be honest, that's all I really care about. What I thought. So yeah. So I'll give this episode a 10 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.